When did strong leadership become code for pretend you're not overwhelmed? You might have seen the short I posted a few weeks ago, the one about how our number one job as a leader, it isn't to eliminate uncertainty, it's to eliminate the anxiety around it. It blew up for a reason. Women in leadership, we're exhausted, just like my voice. You can hear it's cracking a little bit. We're exhausted from pretending that we have all the answers. And in 2026, that old playbook, it isn't just outdated, it's harmful. Today, I'm going to give you about four, four feels good leadership shifts every ambitious woman needs this year. So you can lead with clarity, credibility, and calm, and not pressure, perfectionism, or burnout. I'm Sophia. You'll have to excuse my voice. I help driven women climb in corporate without the cost of burnout. So, in that short that I talked about, say to your team, hey, here's what we know right now. Here's what we're doing next while we figure out the rest. How does that feel? I mean, it's simple because it creates a psychological safety net, and that's what good leaders do. They make sure their teams feel safe. And with so many changing events that are happening, we want to build and maintain that safety. Like, you don't have to know the whole staircase, where the whole staircase leads. Just take that first step. Today's workplace doesn't reward the leader with all the answers. It rewards leaders who stay steady even when the answers aren't there yet. And look around. That's the world we're living in today. Your job isn't to remove uncertainty. Your job is to reduce the anxiety that uncertainty creates. So let's jump into tip number one. We're going to practice calm, not clarity. In fact, before I jump to it, did you subscribe? I just gotta ask. I know you did. Oh, okay. Because conversations like this, they don't happen over the water cooler. No one's having these conversations, and we need to have more of them. So that way, those of us leaders that are struggling, we know that we're not alone and we can begin to identify ways to pivot. So in that short that I was talking about, I delayed rolling out a process because I didn't have every detail. I'm telling you, I thought waiting would make me look smarter, but instead, it just stressed my team out. Clarity beats perfection, and imperfect direction, it beats silent pressure. And here's what I want you to use just what I want you to practice. I want you to say, here's what I know, here's what I don't know, and here's what we're going to do next. It gives your team the assurance that, hey, number one, you see what they see, right? And that you're all working together in harmony to do the best you can with the details that you have. I'm reminded of this quote by Lori Santos. She says, we stay calmer when we feel in control and connected. So that's where this clear communication helps your team, not the uncertainty. I also want you to think about it from this way. We're not going to give guarantees. We're going to give grounding. Let me ask you, what's one leadership behavior that looks strong on the outside, but it's quiet cracking you on the inside? And are you ready to retire it this year? For me, I can tell you, it was holding all of the inconsistencies with leadership to myself. I wanted to protect my team. Someone told me that if you have a good manager, it's like the ozone layer. You are protected from the sun's rays. You're protected from all the ebbs and flows of senior leadership because your manager protects you. And that's what I would do. But at the same time, my team could see me cracking. They could see me frustrated. They could feel the pressure and the hostility. So instead, what I want to encourage you to do is just to say, hey, this is what I know. And because this is what I'm certain of at this point, we're going to move in this direction. I don't know anything else. And yes, I agree. If we did know more about the project, if we knew more about context, if we knew more about the deadline, it would help us finish this out in its entirety. But for now, we're just going to focus on Section A. right? So that's just an example. And I want you to think through, what are you ready to retire in your quiet, cracking leadership this year? You ready for tip number two? Show you're working, not your warrior mode. Women overfunction because we're afraid we'll be seen as unprepared, right? Why are you hiding the process you would applaud someone else for, right? You need to speak up and let people know that, yes, I can perform these miracles. Yes, I can pull off the unexpected, but it will take me time. It will take me time to research what you're asking me for. It will take me time to rebuild the slides. It will take me time to build the appendix to let my team know what's going on. Transparency, don't think about it as a weakness. I want you to see transparency as shared ownership. So for 2026, I want you to be less, I'll figure it all out, more, let's figure it out together. And here's the first step. In fact, today, this week, I want you to narrate your thinking instead of silently carrying it. Because if people don't know what you're thinking, if they don't know what it truly costs to pull off the impossible, they will continue to ask because guess what? It's no big deal. What leadership habit is draining your energy right now? And what would leading with strategy instead of sacrifice look like? Tip number three, I want you to create emotional safety. With these, just it's a short check-in, right? The first question you would ask is, here's what I know. This is your check-in. So you're asking yourself, here's what we know right now, right? And the second one is, here's what we're doing next until we figure the next thing out. This is two quick things that you can ask yourself. You can say it out loud with your team because it shuts down fear, it stops rumors from spiraling, and it quiets panic. Leaders don't have to know everything. They just have to keep everyone from absorbing the chaos, kind of like that ozone layer that I was talking about. Your team is calm only when you are certain. So are you leading or are you pretending like you're certain you're going to get an Oscar for having the most certainty? No, no. I can tell you all of the leaders that I respected most, they were very transparent, very honest about what they didn't know, very honest about where our team stands and what senior leadership still needs to work through. That's leadership. All right, one more tip. I have to give you one more tip, right? How about setting boundaries as a form of leadership instead of survival? We often wait to set boundaries when we are at our limits, and we think of boundaries as nice to haves instead of professional necessities. Look, boundaries are like power tools, not apologies, right? In 2026, I want us to make a shift. We're going to stop equating availability with authority. What is she saying? Let me give you some examples. We're not revising decks after two rounds. We're not meeting without agendas. We're protecting our focus window or our deep focus window. I want you to say, for me to deliver this quality, here's what needs to move. You can't trust a leader who's burned out and inconsistent. Your team can trust a leader who protects their energy and your energy with precision and calm. Look, your number one job in 2026 as a leader is it isn't to be perfect. It's to keep the room calm. Your job isn't to know everything. It's to communicate what you do know. 2026 isn't about pressure. It is about presence. And that's what we're talking about, right? So if you're tired of circling burnout and you're ready to lead well, let's talk. I help women keep the roles they work so hard for without losing themselves in the process. Join my masterclass or bring me to your organization because when women lead with clarity, everyone wins.